Hello, my name is Alexey Matveev, and in this video we will talk about Prometheus exporters. We'll talk about Prometheus Exporter Pro for Jira, about version 3.0.0 Jira 8 and up. Beginning from this version, users can add their own metrics to Prometheus, and in this video I will show you how you can do it. We will create our own application, and we will see how to add metrics, how these metrics can be added to your Prometheus, and how you can collect them. Okay, let's start. That's Prometheus Exporter for Jira. Here it is. And I'm talking about this one. The same can be applied to Prometheus exporters for Bitbucket and Confluence, but the releases are not in the marketplace on the date of the video. That's why I will be talking only about Jira, but the same can be applied to Prometheus Exporter for Bitbucket and Confluence. Okay, let's start. I wrote an article in my blog. Here it is. And in this video, I will be following this article. Okay, let's start. So first of all, what you need to do? You need to go to the marketplace. And find Prometheus Exporter for Jira Pro. And now you can choose version history. And here you will be able to see version 3.0.0. Right now it's not available yet, but it will be there. So you download it. And then after you download it, you will have it into your download folder. After it, you need to install it to your local Maven repository or to your remote Maven repository, so that later you could reference it in your application. Because to add a metric, we need to write our own application. Okay, how to add it to your local repo? Here you can find the command. Here it is. Now I'm in the downloads folder and I can paste this command. What you can see in this command, I'm using Atlas MVM. It means that you need to install Atlassian SDK, because if you want to write a plugin for Jira, now it's called application, you should install Atlassian SDK. How to find it in the internet? It's over here. You can just Atlassian SDK, and that's it. That's how you can set up it. I will not show you how to do it in this video. Okay, so let's talk about this command. So first of all, it goes Atlas MVN, then install file. Then there is a reference to the file which I downloaded from the marketplace. It's version 3.0.0.8. Then I need to define the group ID. It's row Andrei Markelov Atlas plugins. Then artifact ID from Jira exporter, and then I define the version. Since my version is this one, so I put the same one over here in the version. Then packaging is jar. It should be jar. Okay, jar. And now also I need to generate POM true. Okay, I execute the command, and now the build is success. So right now the file is in my local Maven repository. Okay. Okay, what's next? Here is the window which we should see, and we saw it, right? Build success, that's right. And then we need to create a new application with Atlas Create Jira plugin. Here it is. Okay, let's do that. I will move to my project folder, and then I will execute Atlas Create Jira plugin. Okay, I will add group ID. It can be anything. Let's say I will say it like this. And then here artifact ID, I will call it my metric tutorial. Version I will leave the same. I will leave the same package. I don't want to use Java config. I don't like it, but if you want, you can use it, of course. That's why I answer no. Okay, now I want this application to be created. Okay, I will open this application in IDEA, but first I will copy the path to my Maven repo. Here it is. Okay, now let's open our created application. Here it is. Open Maven, Trust Project, new window. And now I will add path to Maven repo, to our Maven config files, so that IDEA could initialize this project. Okay, now let's open POM.xml. Let's have a look what we've got here. First of all, let me change Jira to the latest one. Then, as we can see, Atlassian Sprint Scanner is 217. It means that let's try to find dependencies. Here it is. So it's provided, you see, so everything is correct. And that's it. So everything is fine. Okay, let's read what we have to do next. First of all, we need to change Jira version. We did it. Then we need to add dependency to our jar of Prometheus Exporter, which we added to our local Maven repository in the previous step. Let's do that. I don't know, let's add it here. Now let's save it. Okay, let's see what we've got to do next. We need to add imports. Let's add imports. Imports are added over here. Here, import packages. So let's try it. So what we are adding here, this is standard Atlassian import. This one, optional resolution. This one is also standard Atlassian import. What we add here our SPI. This SPI will let you write your own metrics and integrate it with Prometheus Exporter. Also, we add Prometheus client. This client you can find in the internet, and I integrated it completely so that you can use all the features of the client. For example, you can try to search it in the internet like this: Java Prometheus client. Here it is, and basically all features from this client is available for you. You can use it. And that's all. That's basically what we add. Okay, now what we've got to do, we need to add this parameter to properties. Let's see. To add this one. So currently the SPI version is 1.0.0. Let's add it over here. Done. What else? Okay, that's all. Now we can try to re-import all packages. Let's see if it works. Let's see if we've got here our package. Yeah, it's over here, so everything is fine. Now we can try to write our own metrics. Let's see what we've got here. I will delete these packages, we don't need it. I will delete the test package, and here I will create a new package called metric. That's it. Okay, what's next? Next we need to create the Java file with our metric. So what kind of metric we are going to create? Let's say, okay, let's first go to our Jira. Right, localhost. Okay, I'm in our Jira. Now in this Jira, let me search for issues. I've got the VIP project. You can see it. And then I've got there 6 issues. And this issue is assigned to user 1. This issue is assigned to admin. And the other ones is also assigned to admin. And what I want to do, I want to provide a metric to Prometheus. I want to see how many issues are not closed in this project VIP. And these issues must be created more than 2 days ago. And I want to know the number of such issues. Suppose that it's a very important project, and if the number of issues goes high, that are not closed and which were created 2 days ago, it means for 2 days we weren't able to close it. It means that it's alerting us. We need to take care of it. And we want to have this metric in Prometheus. And also, beside it, I also want to be able to see how many issues are assigned to each user. That's what I want to do. This metric I want to provide. Okay, how to do that? So let's create here a new file. What is the name of the file? Let's see. This one. Yeah, and now I will copy the contents of the file which I provided here. Let's see what we've got here. Let me import everything we need. Okay, I imported everything we needed. Okay, let's have a look at the file. First of all, what we can see here, we are defining the gotch. Why it's a gotch? In Prometheus, we've got 3 types of metrics: gotch, histogram, and count. So gotch is a metric which can change up and down. So the value can be 10, then 9, then 12. So it does not increase all the time. And that's for our metric. The number of issues can go up and down. That's why I chose gotch. Counter always goes up. It never goes down. So it can be 0, 5, 10, 12, and it cannot go 10 again. And histogram is just divided into buckets, and then it shows for each bucket how many actions were put to this bucket. Okay, so basically you can read about it in Prometheus documentation to get better understanding. It's not the point of our video right now. So we defined it a gotch because the number of issues can go up and down. What I'm doing here, I'm defining the name, VIP issues not closed. This name will be shown later in the metric servlet and in the Prometheus itself. When you get the metric, it will be the name of the metric. This is the description, and this is the assignee. Assignee is the label. So in the end, when you see this metric, you will be able to see that, for example, for assignee admin, there will be this number of issues. For assignee user 1, this will be this number of issues. Okay, so we created this metric. Also, we extended from Prometheus metric. Prometheus metric is the class which is created in Prometheus Exporter and which does all the job to integrate this metric into Prometheus. And you need to define the super constructor. You need to call it. Basically it's the same. You put here the name, the description, and then also these 2 parameters. The first one is the parameter which tells that this metric should be collected by a job, by the job which is defined in Prometheus. Because in Prometheus we've got a job which executes by default every 2 minutes, but you can change this default, and then it collects metrics. And we say that we want this job to collect this metric. Also, we have another here parameter. This one means that this metric will be also collected in real time. What it means real time? When you set up Prometheus, Prometheus calls the metric servlet. And you can set up, for example, to call it every 15 seconds or every 30 seconds, every 10 seconds. And each time Prometheus calls this metric servlet, this metric will be collected again. Why we have here 2 settings? Because some metrics can be collected for a long time. Let's say it's collected 30 seconds. Then there is no point to put it into collection in real time, because real time can be collected every 15 seconds, and then if it executes every 30 seconds, then it will not be enough time to execute. So your Prometheus will be waiting for the response from the metric servlet too long. That's why if a metric is executed too long, just don't collect it in real time, collect it in job. Okay, we did it. Then what we need to define, we need to define the collect method. It's the overriding method. We need to override it. First of all, it always returns Prometheus metric results, and then we choose VP issues not closed metric collect. That's what this method always returns. But here in this method, what we have to do, we need to count the values for this metric. How we count it? First of all, we get all the components which we need later, because how we want to get our issues, I will show you. So basically we need to write a query, something like this, you see, and in this case you can see that we chose six issues. So basically what we say, it's in VIP, more than 2 days, and then the resolution is empty, is not closed. And that's what we want to do in our collect method. We want to choose these issues, then iterate over all these issues to count the number of issues for each user and set it to the metric. That's what we want to do. How we are going to do that? We get all the components, we define our GQL, here it is. Then we try to parse query. If it's valid, then we execute the search, we get the results, we get here unlimited filter. This metric wasn't supposed to be perfect. I just wanted to show how you can do that, because to get unlimited filter can cause delays in performance. It can cause degradation in performance. That's why you shouldn't use get unlimited filter, but for the sake of simplicity I use get unlimited filter. Also, for example, this code I don't define the situation when, for example, the issue is not assigned at all. It will cause an error in the code. So because this code it is not supposed to be perfect. The same you can say about this component accessor. Basically you can import all these managers here with component import. So it's up to you. Okay, so basically, okay, we got the results of the query. Then we iterate over the query. Then we get the username. If our assignee map, which is empty right now, contains this username, then we just add +1 to the number of issues. If not, we put it 1. And then in the end we iterate over this assignee map, and then we set the metric itself. So we say, for example, we take the first entry for user admin. We say labels admin, and then the number of issues which the user has. And that's all. And then we collect the metric and return it. That's it. That's how it works. Okay, our metric is defined. What we have to do next? Next, we have to define our metric collector. Here it is. We will call it metric collector. And then let's copy this one. Okay, it's done. So basically here I just extend from Prometheus metric collector, and what I'm doing here, I'm importing my metric, this one over here, and then I add it to the metric array. That's all. That's all what needs to be done here. If you've got many metrics here, you add the second one, then you just can add another metrics here, add your second metric, whatever you want. And you need to import it here, of course, over here. Okay, so that's it with collector. Now, what's next? The next thing we need to do, we need to add our collector as a Prometheus metric module into Atlassian into Atlassian plugin.xml file over here. Let's add it. Okay, what we've got here. Okay, let it be our custom metric module, our custom metric model, and then I need to provide path to the class. It's this one, metric collector. That's it. And that's it. Now we can try to build our application. Let's try it. Okay, done. So we've got the jar file. Now let's go to our Jira. Manage apps. If we have a look at the metrics menu right now, we will see that we've got only metrics from Prometheus Exporter itself. Now let's install our plugin. Upload apps, choose file, idea projects, my metric tutorial, target, this one, upload, done. Now let's go to metrics. And you see now we've got our metric added. If we have a look at it, it's not collected yet. You see, it's not collected. These ones are collected, but this one is not collected yet. But what we can do, we can open our metric servlet. Okay, now let's open our metric servlet. Here. And now our metric is collected. Let's try to find it. Here, let's try to find our metric. Here it is. You see that here it is. So user 1 has 1 open issue and user admin has 5 open issues. That's it. Now it's in our Prometheus. We can also have a look again at the metrics. Now it is collected. We can see how long it takes to collect this metric. You see, so it takes this amount of nanoseconds. It's for the whole model, and this one it's for the metric itself. So that's it how you can do that. So you can always open my article. I've got here a reference to the source code. It's over here. So that's it for the video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.